Welcome to another version of Silver Sneakers. So once again, if you've looked at the first one, you'll see that we're using some different types of props to substitute for what we normally have. So the first thing would be a salad size plate, so a small plate. If you happen to own something that's unbreakable, that's probably the best one, but we're not doing anything too crazy with it, so you most likely will not drop it. But a salad size plate would be prop number one, and you can do all of these without this. So then number two would be a hand towel. And we're just gonna roll it up a bit and use it for some different things for pulling our muscles and strengthening our arms, but just a hand towel. It doesn't have to be as big as a bath towel. Or if you have that bath towel, you could just hold it in at a shorter distance. And again, you don't have to have this, but it does help. And the third thing that we will be using is some type of weight. You can have something that's a little bit heavier. I'm using a bottle of V8. Or you could have something that's lighter, such as any canned food, maybe a bottle of water, maybe your water bottle if it's sealable and won't leak, whatever you'd like to use. And again, these are not, you can still go through all the motions just without weights in your hand. So use it if you like. Pause the tape for now and run and get these, and then come on back and join in. So for starters today, we're going to be doing some standing work that warms up both our arms and our legs. And if you've been doing a fair amount of walking at this time, which many of us have, these also work as excellent warm-ups for walking. So they can be done either from standing or sitting. So I'll start with the seated version. We'll bring our right leg forward, our left leg will stretch back behind us. You can keep that knee bent, just reaching it back a bit. Then we're going to slowly bring that arm up and then pull it back. You can push into the front knee a bit and then pull back. Push in, pull back. And not too hard to figure out that the standing version will be quite similar. Right foot forward, left foot is back. You want to be able to bend into that right knee, and you want the left foot to be close enough so you can be kind of loose, so you can move back and forth on your feet. So it's reach and lower, reach and lower. And now we'll pause, hold the feet in the same position or the legs in the same position at the chair. Now the arm comes up and over. Swing down, up and over. In front of the chest or the belly, then up and over. As you come up, you press into the knee. When you come down, you can push back into the back foot. And release, feet still in the same position. This time, the arm is going to reach out at shoulder height and then come across down towards the knee. Go ahead and let that hip come out to the side and lift. Push into the front foot, reach back, push in, slightly straighten. And hold. Now we'll step in and switch over to the other side. So from your chair, you slide over to the edge. That left foot is forward, the right foot is back. From standing, same thing. Right foot ahead, left foot back. And we begin with the arm swing. So it's lift up and back. Into that front knee, push back. and then pause with that arm up, and it reaches over. Come down, swing in front, come up, push into the front foot, pull back, pull back. And release. Now, arm is up at shoulder height. It comes across over towards the outside knee. Open, bend the knee. Come up. All right, come up. We'll do 3 more still from that lunge, but we're going to bring that right foot forward. And this would be a time where you could pick up your lighter weight. So that could be, as mine is, a can good, a bottle of water, but nothing too heavy, okay? This one we want it to be lighter. Right foot is forward, left foot is back. Same thing from the chair. Right foot forward, left foot back. Now, we're holding whatever we have kind of up and down. We're going to pull and bend that arm and then reach forward. A little pressure into that front leg. We pull back. And from standing, the only thing that would vary is that knee can bend forward and then it can straighten. Now, if you don't have something to put in your hand, that's perfectly fine. Just make a light fist. You don't have to clench real hard, and push forward, pull back. And pause. We'll stay on this side. This time we're going to open that arm and reach across. Open, we pull back, reach forward, bend into the knee. Open and reach. If at any time what you're holding starts to feel like too much, just set it down, come back and use your empty hand. And pause. We're still staying with the right foot forward. This time, we're going to lean into the side, dropping down, pull back up, reach down, pull back up. Let that hip come out to the side, pull back up. As you reach down, the knee can bend. As you come up, you can straighten. And pause. Now we'll step together, wiggle out, move into the middle of your chair, and then slide over to the other side. This time, left knee comes forward, right foot will be back. So from the chair, you've moved over, letting one hip kind of hang off the edge. That leg reaches back, the other knee is forward. And from here, we do our reach, forward and back. Sorry, wrong arm. And back. Right arm. The other arm can just rest. From standing, you bend into that knee, straighten back. And come up. We'll stay in that same leg position. The arm opens and crosses. Opens and crosses. Let the knee come forward. Let the knee straighten. And hold. Now get with a small bend in the knee, press in, get everything nice and balanced, facing forward, and drop. Come back up, drop, and lift. Let that hip slide out if it wants to, bend at the waist. And hold, step together. We have one more set for our hips and our legs. So this one, we won't be with one foot forward. They'll be equal, but we will be going into one knee and then into the other. So from seated, same thing. You can bend over to this side, then over to the other. Straightening one leg, bending into the other. From here, we're going to start both knees forward, equal, feet down. We'll lift those arms just about at a little lower than shoulder height, and both arms are going to go to the right. Reaching, coming back. Reach and come back. Now come to shoulder height, reach, come back. One more. Come back. Now up overhead. Reach, come back. Reach, come back. So 2 reaches at each position. Starting lower, reach, come back, reach. Now shoulder height. Bending into the right knee. Now up. And last time through, reach and reach. Shoulder height and overhead. And pause. Relax, let everything move out. We're going to start bending into the other side. So we're reaching a little lower, bend that left knee. Go again. Now up to shoulder height. Now up overhead. 2 times each and down. Shoulders. And up. Last time through. Reach high. And release. Bring those feet back together, wiggle out. If you're seated, move things around a bit, up and down. Now, that worked both our legs and our arms, but probably our arms got a little bit more of it than the legs. So now we'll give our arms a little bit more work. And we're going to start with bringing them up, bent elbows, palms forward. And then squeeze together and slowly drop. You decide how low you're going to go. Come back up. Open. Everyone's doing this from seated. Squeeze together. Lower back down. Lift up and open. Squeeze and lower. Open and lower. And bring them together and release on down. All right, so now let's lift our legs up one at a time. Slowly pulling up and giving a little squeeze, pushing through that foot, lower back down. Lift up again, give a little squeeze, flex the foot, and lower. Now we'll speed it up just a little. We're not going to go fast. It's a lift, pull, and lower. Lift, pull in, and lower. Switch sides. In, and lower. In, and lower. One more. Each side. And lower. Now, slowly, if it works for you, lift that foot up and cross it over the other knee. So you would have right foot over left knee. Holding there. If crossing in this fashion doesn't work for your knees, cross at the ankles and squeeze together. So I want us just to hold this for a bit. If you've lifted, you can maybe pull that foot in a little closer, giving you more stretch. If you're crossed, just keep squeezing hard. Just squeeze in. Feel that pull through the legs. And release. Now let's go over to the other side. Lift. Pull in if possible. Or squeeze as tight as you can, where the ankles are crossed. Squeeze the calves together, squeeze the ankles. Here, lift in, keep pulling. And release. Lovely. All right, taking that right knee, we're going to lift the left arm, and we're going to lift the knee and bring them toward each other, and then stretch out. Tuck in, stretch out. And hold, bring them down, get your balance while we'll go to the other side. So we've got that right arm lifted. We're gonna lift the left leg, tuck, and stretch. And release. Nice, nice work. All right, let's come on up. You can stay in your chair or you can come out to the side of your chair. I'm going to move mine over a bit so I and my legs kind of stay within the realm of the camera. You do not have to move your chair. So what we'll do from here, one hand on the chair, or if you're seated, you're just going to move that right leg. We're just going to open it up and lift back. Stretch out, squeeze together. Keep lifting. Move forward on the edge of your chair. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. One hand can hang on to the leg or the seat of the chair. And now we'll add on from either seated or standing. We're going to lift the knee and open up. Lift the knee and open. Lift and open. And release. Beautiful. Now we're going to go over to the other side. So you might slide over a bit on your chair so that that leg can have room to open out to the side. We lift and lower. Lift and lower. Doing the same thing, standing. Lift and lower. You can keep one hand on the chair for balance. If you don't feel you need that, you can use both arms. But always have the chair close by Sometimes the wobbles hit us when we least expect it. All right, now we're going to add that knee. So we lift and then open. Lift and open. And release on down. Take a breath. And now we're going to do some arm work with some weights if you have them available. So you can either have your lighter weight in hand, or for this one, if you have a heavier version and you're comfortable with that, you can use the heavier version. So not only do we have choices in terms of how heavy we want to lift, we also have choices in terms of where we want the rest of our body to be. So you can be seated. What we'll be doing first is some bicep work. So that's easy to do from seated. It's also pretty good to do from standing, maybe feet a little bit apart for balance. Or if you're going to hold the weight in your left hand, you would put your right foot forward. And here now you're working on balance as well as weight strength. But wherever you are, we want to extend that arm and then slowly pull in, flexing and tightening the bicep. Same thing goes. Think about your belly. Think about those abdominal muscles. Pull in as that arm comes up and release. Pull in and release. And relax. We'll switch hands again from seated, from standing, feet slightly apart for good balance, or for challenging your balance a bit more, the right foot forward, the left foot back, and the right arm pulls in and releases. Think of flexing your bicep, lowering down. Pull in on the belly, release. And halt. Now, once again, you have lots of different choices. If you did those with the heavier weight and your arms are feeling tired, you can switch over to the lighter. You can keep doing this. You could do it without. And for positioning, you have lots of choices as well. Again, same three, but you can start from seated. This time we'll be going up overhead. So we start with a bent arm and lift and lower. Now, if this bothers your shoulder, don't go all the way up. Maybe start here and just do half a lift and back, half a lift and back. Otherwise, extend up, pull down. You can do this from standing, or you can take that lunge. And release, come back, switch to the other side. Again, depending, you can be seated, you can be standing, you can walk that foot forward. So lift up, straight up, and lower. If this shoulder is bothered by that long extension, just go part way. If even that bothers it, I would get rid of the weight and see what happens when you try it with an empty hand. And lower. Come on, back down. All right. We can get rid of the weights so you can put them off somewhere where they won't be in your way. And we'll do a little bit more leg work. I believe we did this one the last time. You have a couple of choices here as well. If it works for you to stand, come to the side of your chair, and we will start with the outside, the leg closest to the front of the chair. And we lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. If you're seated in the chair, you can have something, if you have something, you can place it in front of you to step up on, like a pillow or a box, or you can just lift and lower, lift and lower. If you'd like, you can use your hands to help lift up. Either way. Okay. Stop, take a breath, and switch sides. If you're standing, come to the other side of the chair. Again, it will be the outside leg, the leg closest to the front of the chair. If you're seated, you just switch sides. So up and lower, up and lower. Or from seated, lift and lower, lift and lower. Use your hands to help lift if that works for you. And release. If you're standing, go ahead and come back to your chair and find your hand towel. All right. Bring your hands out to the edges of the hand towel so you have as much towel in between. Your arms are spread out a bit. Not too wide, very gentle V. Now, we're going to take this through first very slowly, and then you can pick up the pace a bit. We're going to drop both of the arms over to the right, and the knees are going to go to the left. Back to center, then drop opposite sides. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And hold. Now we're going to add something here. We won't put them together quite yet, but it's a 1 and 2, straight out in front. Up and a little behind, straight out in front. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. All right, now we'll put those two together. So we drop to the right, knees to the left. Up and forward. Other side, drop and lift. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And pause. Let those arms come down. Shake the shoulders out. Now, holding it right out in front of you, pull as though you're stretching the towel, then let it release. Open, pull hard, release. Pull, release. Pull, release, and pull. Now going to the right, left hand's on top. Release and pull, release, pull, release, and pull. Come back to center, rotate, left hand down, right hand up, release and pull, release and pull. Come back into center. Now this is just going to be 3/4 of a circle, half of a circle. We'll stretch out, rotate, come through. Keep the tension on the towel. And come back to center. Let that towel release, shake out the arms. If you were gripping tightly, those hands might be a little stiff. So open and stretch. Now bring them together and push into the hands. And then clasp and turn out. And release. Keep wiggling those fingers if they still feel stiff. All right, our last prop that we haven't gotten to is our plate. So grab that plate. We're going to start out as though we're driving. So feet perfectly placed right underneath our knees, sitting up nice and tall. Hands out front, steering wheel's there. And we're going to make some very sharp turns. All right, and twist as far as you can. Come back, twist the other way and back. Twist. And hold. Now, this time we're going to swing to the side and then twist. Come back up. Twist and lift. Twist and lift. Back through center, other side, twist. And return to center. Now these next few can be done from seated or standing. We're going to start with the palm on either side of the plate, pressing in lightly so the plate doesn't fall. And if you're seated, you might want your knees just a little bit apart. We lift up. If your neck agrees, follow with your eyes, looking up. If that bothers your neck, look straight ahead. Look up and slowly lower. Rise up and lower. From standing, legs a little bit apart, rise up, lower slowly, keeping the back long, then rise slowly up. And hold overhead, then let it come down. Take it into one hand or the other. Let's say it's the right hand. And we're going to lift up and swing back. Now pause, lift out to the side, scoop that plate towards you. Lift, push in, lift, push in. And switching sides, lift up, come down. This can be done from seated. And now out, straight out, squeeze that plate in, lift, straight out, squeeze in. All right, one last one, sort of back where we started with a bend in the knee. So if you're in the chair, you want to move over to the right side, right knee's out, left foot will just be planted. And we're going to bend into that knee. Up here, if you're standing, I'm going to bend in, bring it to this hand, swing it back. And pause. Switch over to the other side, shifting on the chair, shifting on the knee, and swing out. Both hands. Bring it in. Knee bends, knee straightens. And come together. Bring those hands in. Hold the plate as though you were going to have someone fill it up for you. And then slowly lift up. You just dump the food on your head. Reach back. Lower it back down. Lift up. Come behind whatever amount feels okay to your back. And lower. Plate forward. And release. Shake out those shoulders. Come on back to seated. We'll extend that right foot forward. Pull those toes as though you were trying to touch your shin, kind of stretching out the back of the calf. And then put the foot down. Lift up and lower. Now switching legs, toes straight up towards the ceiling, then lower it towards the floor. Up and lowered. Very nice. Sitting tall. Take a big breath and lift those arms. Stretch up. Slowly reach forward. Belly comes towards the thighs. Just hold there and relax. Let your hands be loose. And then let those hands slide up the legs. Once again, reach up. Big inhale. Exhale out. And rise. Bring your shoulders up. Push them back and around. And release. Now let that right hand reach down. The left comes up and over and just hold. Nice stretch. Come back to center. Left hand slides down. Right comes up and over. Just hold. Lengthening, releasing the sides. Come back into center. Take a big, big breath. Let your chin tuck towards your chest. And then let that right ear drop towards the right shoulder. The left hand can reach out or back if you're looking for more stretch. Come back to center. Over to the other side. Same goes, that opposite hand, this time the right, could reach out or back or down to help you find little tight spots in that neck. And come back to center. Take a big breath in and inhale. Exhale. In through the nose, out through the lips. Last time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember to sign in. You can now do it online to get credit towards your exercise for your insurance company, and also it benefits the center. So even in the time when we can't be together, let's work together. I miss you all. Hope to see you soon. Bye.